What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, I want to go ahead and do an overall analysis on the S&P 500 as well as on the Nasdaq. There are some very key things to be looking at on both the daily and 4-hour time frames. And then intraday today, there are also some very key clues to be paying attention to on the intraday analysis on the 5 and 15-minute chart. So I want to go ahead and do that analysis today for you guys. After we do that analysis, we're going to look at 2 swing trades that I did open today. I want to share with you the risk to reward that I'm looking at on these positions and overall just go through my analysis on these plays. After watching today's video, if you do enjoy it, make sure to press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's go ahead and start this video on the S&P 500 daily chart. That is what you're looking at on your screen. And what you can see here, guys, is the potential of a demand hold here around this 3,900 level on the S&P 500. Over the last few days, we have pulled back just about 9.5%, and we have pulled back right to these June and July previous rejection points. This is a level that I've been sort of looking at for the last few weeks. If you follow me on Twitter, if you come to the pre-market live streams, I've been talking about the pullback to this 3,900 level on the S&P 500. I felt like we needed to retest these previous highs. So we have a previous high here, we have a previous high here, and then we have a previous support level that was built before we had that nice run up on the market. So we had that big run up on the market, we have pulled back, and we are starting to retest this 3,900 level. You can see today we started red, we came back down to that 3,900, and we had that late day push to the upside, which closed this candle back up toward the upside and closed it green, leaving that pretty major wick on the downside of this candle right at this previous rejection and support level. So this is something that I am definitely looking at for a potential reversal here. It is a little bit early to get too excited to the upside. It's a little bit too early to get overly aggressive, but this is something that you have to be watching. This is a potential pivot point on the market to be looking at around this 3,900 level, previous June and July highs into support here back in July and August, and we turned it into support once again today. So here on the 4-hour chart, we can see it in a little bit greater detail. We had that previous rejection, and support, and you can see we found support off it once again. Now, in this morning's live stream, I was talking that the risk to reward to the downside is starting to become slimmer and slimmer. If the market is going to try to bounce off demand, then it's about time that a short seller would think to take profits, right? Your risk to reward as you start to approach these previous levels starts to get smaller. If you're entering puts up here, if you're shorting up here back maybe by the 200 SMA, the traders would probably start to take profits here as it starts to approach demand. So playing to the downside, the risk to reward just wasn't quite there. And that's why in today's morning live stream, I was talking that this could be potentially where you start to see some shorts covering, where you start to see some type of upside on the market, at least some type of relief bounce here on the market. No one is saying that this is going back to all-time highs. No one is saying that this is going to be a continued rally to the upside, but it is at least a level that you have to be watching for if you are trading on an intraday basis where there could be some demand that holds this market higher. So if we break this down to the hourly chart, I want to show you guys a few levels on the S&P 500 futures that you need to be watching for potential rejections for the rest of this week as well into next week. So the first thing that I would be watching is the previous lows from Tuesday around this 39.80 level. I think this is going to be a very influential level. Anywhere between this 39.80 and 39.60 is an area that you could potentially reject off of. You had a previous support here, you had a previous bounce here, and this is where you slip through this 39.80 level. If we move back into 39.80, there is always a possibility of it rejecting off that 39.80. That would be the first level that I would be watching. If we can get above that 39.80, the next level that has to be in focus is around this 4,010 and even that 4,000 psychological level. This is the Friday lows. This is where we rejected on Tuesday. You guys can see previous support from Friday. We rejected it on Tuesday. We rejected it on Wednesday as well. So this area up here around 4,010 would be your next target to the upside. If you can break 39.80, potentially turn it into support, I would look for that push to 4,010, maybe to 4,000, and you have to be careful around there. If we get through this area, then you're going to be looking at those Friday and Monday levels. I'm not going to go that far because I think these are definitely 2 possible rejection points, so please be careful of those first. Don't get your mindset on this going back into the 4050s, even back up to 4100. I would first focus on 3980, 4,000 and 4,010 as potential rejection points here on the ES. So switching over to the Nasdaq was the weaker of the indexes today, obviously because tech was getting the larger fall. We saw Nvidia, AMD get hit off that news. So the Nasdaq was definitely the weaker of the two indices. Nasdaq was red about 1.25%, maybe 1.5% at one point, whereas at that same time, the S&P was down about 0.6, 0.5. So the Nasdaq was always underperforming the S&P by about 1% today. Besides that end of day push, where we definitely saw it start to catch up, we saw that upside on the overall Nasdaq. So if we go to the daily chart, we're going to be looking at something very similar here. We're going to be looking at those previous June and July highs. You can see right here, we had a double top on the Nasdaq right here. That turned into support back in late July, and we came back to it once again today. You can see we came back to that level, and we put in a very big candle, a very big wick to the upside on the Nasdaq around this 12,200 to 12,000 level. So on the daily chart, we can definitely see the potential that there could be some demand that holds up this market in the short term at this 12,000 to 12,002 level. Previous rejection into support, and you are back at that demand. This is what I was talking about this morning. Short sellers will start to look to cover here. Risk to reward to the downside is starting to get slim unless you think we're really going to flush this level on its first attempt, which we definitely still could, right? Anything is possible here. But is there potential for a demand bounce here? Would you want to be holding shorts into demand? Most would say no to that, so I would probably look to potentially cover shorts, and maybe there is some type of upside or some type of relief here off this potential demand zone. If we break this down to the 4-hour chart, we get a little bit more detail on the overall Nasdaq. What we can see here is just the exact same levels in just a little bit closer. Previous rejection into support. And once again today, we found some support off that level. If we go to the hourly, we can sort of look at some levels to be watching into tomorrow as well into next week. So we can see the big push on the Nasdaq late day. I would be watching the previous Tuesday lows, which is right around this 12,300 level. This is right where we are trading as of close today. So this could potentially be a rejection point. After this 12,300, I would be looking for those Friday lows around that 12,400. So 12,300, 12,400 are the two next major rejection points that I would be watching for if you are watching this market on an intraday basis. So guys, overall on the S&P as well as on the Nasdaq, we can definitely see that daily chart support that could step in around that June and July high. This is an area that I would be monitoring the price action on an intraday. That doesn't mean you get super bullish here. That doesn't mean you go irrational size to the upside. But it is definitely something that if you are an intraday trader to be paying attention to, because there could be opportunity for some type of relief bounce, some type of opportunity to the upside off these demand zones. Watch the hourly chart rejections that I shared in today's video, 12,300 on the Nasdaq and 12,400. And then on the ES, I would be watching that 3980 as well as that 4,010 area. And of course, you can always watch that 4,000 psychological level as well. So with the understanding of both the Nasdaq and S&P potentially finding some type of relief bounce off of that demand, here is what I went ahead and did today, some of the plays that I made. Please remember that I put a total of $500 in both of these swing trades. This is less than 1% of my overall portfolio. I am taking a little stab here on some upside plays, taking a little bit of risk in the portfolio. This is by no means something that's going to make me a lot of money. By no means is this the large percent of the portfolio, but I felt like the risk to reward here on these two plays was very high and something that I wanted to go ahead and put some risk onto. The first one here is Apple to the upside. I took some Apple calls. I'll go ahead and pop up the exact calls on the screen for you to see. I like Apple here at this 155.50 level. Here's some of the reasoning why. You guys can see that we had a previous rejection here and a previous support level around this zone, which was around 155 to 155.50. I have an understanding that Apple is going to outperform in a strong market or in any type of market. If we get any type of bounce on the Nasdaq, I would always look for Apple to be the outperformer. It has showed us that all year, and I don't see that stopping. So if I'm looking for some type of bounce on the Nasdaq, then I'm going to go ahead and look for a stock like Apple to potentially bounce bounced the strongest out of all the tech stocks to the upside. So I got into this play around 2 o'clock. I got them at a good time when I started to see the upside start to form on the market. And you guys can see that we did find a nice bounce here around this 155.50. And I'm looking for that continuation over the next week. I have about 2 weeks on this position. So I'm taking a swing trade with 2 weeks of time. I don't need Apple to rocket higher for these to work. They are not a zero DTE contract. So I'm giving myself a little bit of time, letting these sort of work out to see if we get any type of relief on the overall Nasdaq to the upside. If I break this down to the hourly chart, here are a few levels that I would be watching for potential rejections. I am first going to be watching the previous lows from Tuesday. This is almost identical to the Nasdaq, 158.50. And then I'll be watching this rejection point around this 160 level. So around 160 right here, as well as 158.50 are the levels that I'll be watching for potential rejections on this play. So for this Apple play, I really do like the risk to reward that I'm seeing here. My risk is back below today's lows, which I did get in around that 2 o'clock time. So I have about $2 of risk per contract on this position, $2 of the underlying stock. And my target would be a break through this 158 towards this 160. If we can continue, I'll continue to hold this position as long as I can, as long as I see this bullish momentum. So I took Apple today. We'll see how it works out. I like that potential for the Nasdaq to hold that demand, and I have an understanding of where Apple is back at this previous demand here around 155.50. And I like Apple to outperform to the upside if we get any type of relief bounce. My next target is around this 160, and if we really get moving, I would be watching around this 163, 164. We can also understand that there is previous rejections here at 160. This is the same level. You guys can see right here, if we draw this out from back, this is back on August 3rd. So my ultimate target, my likely target, would be a move into this 160, 160.50 level, the previous lows from back here in early August. And then you can see the previous rejection here just about 2 days ago. So that would be my target around that 160, 160.50 here on this Apple play. The next play that I did take is a channel type trade, and it is on Shopify. So Shopify, we all know, is a pretty weak stock right now, but here is why I took this position. Over the last, say, 2 to 3 months, every single time that Shopify has came back down into the $30 level, it has found a bounce, right? So we saw a bounce here, we saw a bounce here, we saw a bounce right here, and we saw another one back here in late July. So I am in the understanding that every time that Shopify comes back down to this level, there could be some type of a demand hold, and there could be some upside on this play. Basically, what I'm watching for is the potential for Shopify to bounce out of this demand once again and push to the upside. My risk on this play is a very small risk. I have a stop loss under 30. I'll go ahead and pop up what I wrote about this position on the screen. I got into some calls with a stop loss under 30. That is my hard stop. I don't want to see Shopify lose that $30 level. If we go to the 5-minute chart, we saw a very nice bounce off that $30 level today. Strong upside into close. I got in around 2 o'clock, right around this $30.50 range. So I have about 50 cents to the downside of risk per contract, right, on the underlying stock. And I am looking for a move back to 35. If I go to the hourly chart, here is what I'm looking for on Shopify. I am looking for Shopify to potentially bounce out of this demand and push back into these highs around this 35 level, right in this general area. The first potential rejection point would be right here around this 33, which I would still take if I start to see rejections there. I would look to get out around this 33. And if we do continue, I would look for that push into 35. I love the risk to reward here. These two plays that I took on Apple and Shopify, more than anything, are about the risk to reward that I see on both these positions, as well as on the overall Nasdaq and S&P 500. I'm not scared about being wrong here. The risk that I have in these positions is very small, so I can sleep well at night. I know that I'm getting in a position at a good price. I know that I'm getting good risk to reward on these plays. If I'm wrong, I lose a few $100, I move on, and we re-look at this and reanalyze our position. So guys, I hope you did enjoy some of that analysis I provided on both the Nasdaq and S&P 500. Let me know what you think about it down below. I like that previous June and July rejection point to try to turn into some type of a demand bounce here in the short term. Of course, we are very early to this potential bounce. This is just day one of the potential demand hold. So there is absolutely no reason to be putting a large percentage of your portfolio looking for a counter trend trade. If you're looking to counter the trend that we've seen, looking for a bounce or reversal, start small. Start with something small. Take a little nibble at it. Don't go large percent of your portfolio. If you like the risk to reward, you can start with a starter position, which I did here on Apple and Shopify. If I'm wrong, I take a small hit. Nothing that's going to really bother me or really affect my portfolio. We'll see if my analysis holds up on the Nasdaq and ES. Sharing it with you guys today. Apple, Shopify calls into tomorrow, into next week, grabbing 2 weeks of time, looking for that nice risk to reward, looking for that demand bounce off those June and July highs. We'll see how this video ages. I like the potential here. I like the risk to reward, so we will see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to come to the pre-market live streams where we will do this analysis on a daily basis starting at 8 a.m. every single morning. Once again, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.